Good afternoon, everybody. I'm working on some editing today. I have tons to do, and I'm hoping to catch up, which will be great. I wanted to show you a little bit about what I do with the skin when I edit, so you have an idea of what I do and why it takes me so long to go through and edit each image. So I really get in and hand edit each image so that we have great skin quality on your portraits when you print them. So here's my son Tyler. He's a senior, so I'm thinking a lot about him and wanted to get one of his images edited. So this is basically the before. I've done some light edits in Lightroom. But then what I did is I did come in and clean up some of these sticks in the background because I felt like they were distracting away from him. So I did edit those out. And so there's how that looks. So I wanted to just show you the difference between that, and I feel like that really looks a lot better. So I'm going to delete that layer because I don't need it anymore. So then I come in here and I do frequency separation. I come over here and I'm using my healing brush tool and I zoom in really, really, really close. And yes, not we don't all look at ourselves this close. But let me show you what I do. What I try to keep is if they have freckles or anything like that, I try to keep that. My son has some freckles, so I'd like to try and keep that when I can. I don't want those to be all gone because that is some of the character of him. So I would like to keep that. So, but I am trying to get rid of his acne, or whoops, I made a mistake over there, so I'm going to fix that. So I try to keep that. Sometimes there'll be some stubble that I need to fix on boys. And get rid of that where they maybe missed a spot, maybe here under his nose needs a little bit of repair. My computer's a little bit slow since I am recording this screen. Sometimes I need to get in here nice and small. But you can see how I'm clicking through all of that to kind of clean that up. And around his mouth here a little bit too. I'm going to get a little bigger and go over here and do some of these on the side. I know that this is a permanent mark on his face and he's got lots of cute little freckles. So I'm going to hang on to those because I like to see those. This particular day that we were shooting at the Trek Farm, which is about 3 hours away from me, so I don't typically go there very often, but I did do a special thing with my model reps, my son, and another one of my model reps, Sarai. We went there and did this. It was over 100 degrees. It's probably 105, so he's really hot and sweaty, so you can kind of tell that. So basically I'm just taking smooth skin and copying it where it's maybe got some texture to it that I don't want, but you can see that he was pretty hot. He looks a little hot in this picture. I might remove this little mark on his mouth here. So that looks a ton better than it did before. Let me here zoom out and show you kind of a before and after. I think that looks really good. I think I got to fix a little mark by his nose there. So I think I missed when I was copying and pasting over there. So I'm going to fix that up a little bit. So then the next thing you can do that I typically do is I come in here and I will fix skin color as well. I feel like his face is a little red because we were shooting when it was so warm. So I'm probably going to come in here and fix that a little bit. I'm going to reduce my flow and my opacity as well, so I do it a little bit at a time. If this doesn't work, I do have another way that when I have he has splotchy skin here from being hot. So what I'm just doing is I'm kind of lightly going in here and trying to lighten up that skin color a little bit. And I'm just doing it a little bit at a time, so I'm not going too crazy. I just want to even them out. But there's another way I can do this as well. This might be too splotchy for me to do it in this way. But I'm still keeping the texture. If you see, I'm not erasing any of his freckles. I'm just trying to get rid of that really, really red skin from him being very warm in the 105-degree photo shoot weather. You can see it over here as well. He's a little bit red over here. And there's a couple ways to do this with newborns. I'll do it a little bit differently, but just so you get the idea of how I go about and fix that. His nose is a little bit pink too, so I'm going to remove that. Okay, I think that looks quite a lot better. So let's see here. Here's this, and there's after. I think that looks a bit better. I think that looks great. I think I'm going to keep that. So I'm going to save this so that if I want to come back in and make more changes, I can. So then what I would do is I would probably come in here and clean things up a little bit further. I am going to wait for it to finish saving. But what I'll probably do is I'll come up here and do some more clarity in his eyes. Probably do a little bit of maybe some dodge and burn around his face. So I'll show you how I do that really quick. I might speed up this video and mute myself during some of it, so we're not waiting while my computer is. So I'm going to just flatten my image and come in here. And actually, I think I want to remove this. I think that's a mark that he always has, but I think I don't want it. So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit here. There we go. Okay, so I think what I'm going to come in here now and do is I'm going to do a little bit of, I'm going to do some dodge and burn. And I'm going to turn this black and white. And you can see where things are shadowed more and where maybe he has a dark spot there. So I'm going to come in here and dodge that. I'm going to actually come in here and lighten normal mode. And I'm going to do my flow really, really low so that I'm not doing too much too quick. I'm going to use my white brush. And I'm just going to come, ooh, that's way too much. I don't know. Oh, I turned my flow back up to 100%. I meant that to be really, really, really low. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and dodge. And I'm just going to lighten that up a little bit. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten up a little bit there. And then I'm just going to burn a little bit there. He has a little cleft chin, so I like to enhance that on him. And I'm going to really lightly come around his face and darken things just a tad right there. Okay, and I'm going to turn that off, and let's see so I've just kind of enhanced some of the features on his face a little bit. Not too much. I'm going to flatten that. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do my portraiture. Just kind of get in there and do a little bit more. I'm going to hit OK on that. So you can see it takes me a little bit of time. I can see that I still have a little bit red here, so I'll probably go back and fix that in a little bit. That actually might, I'm going to actually go back. That might actually be from my dodge and burn layer. It's a little bit too, my burn layer, I feel like it's a little bit too much. So I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to remove some of that, I think on the sides there. That looks pretty good. Okay, so then I'm going to come back in here and I'll probably speed this video up too. So I don't know if my voice will be on there. And here we go, it's cleaning it up. Then I do a mask. Portraiture does it a little bit too much for me. So what I do is I invert my mask. And then I come in here and I paint on how much I want. So I might do it a flow of 20%. And I really just do it where I really want it. Oops, white brush. And I just paint on where I want it to be a little bit more smooth. But I don't want it so much that I lose texture in his face. I definitely want to see that he has pores, because we have pores. So let's see. It's very, very subtle. It's kind of, you see it mostly here on his cheek. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to come in here and do some fine tuning. So I'm going to run this action that I have recorded here. Not sure where I got the action. Bright sparkly eyes, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to come in here and enhance his eyes a little bit. And he's wearing glasses and it was very, very hot. So I'm actually going to get some detail back in here because I've lost a little bit of the detail because of his glasses being a little bit foggy. So I'm going to pull that back a little bit. So you can see I don't really need to whiten teeth, but I am going to whiten his eyes a little bit. I'm going to reduce my flow of my brush so that I'm not overdoing it. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. I'm going to come in here and do his eyes a little bit more. And I think that looks pretty good. So let's see. I'm going to show you the before and after all that. So I'm going to group these. So you can see his behind his glasses looks a little bit better. I could always change the opacity of that if I felt like it was too much, but I think it's okay. I'm going to keep it. Overall, I think that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do my Nik Color Efex Pro. And I really want to focus in on him a little bit more. And this is, I may do more edits later, but this is basically what I do. I just might do it in more detail and more carefully. So what I come in here and do, hopefully you guys will be able to see this. I am going to, not sure if my screen is recording this part. So I'm going to scooch it over and see if you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to place my center here. And I can change my luminosity. So I'm going to make him a little bit brighter, my border a little bit darker. So, so what that's going to do, see if I can scooch things over in my window here. So I have a little bit, now I feel like it got a little bit too dark on the bottom there. So I am going to remove that because I don't want to lose all the detail of the truck. I know my son really liked this truck. He thought it was pretty cool. So there we go. Fix that, and I think over here on the other side, I think I'm gonna subtract a little bit over here because I don't want to lose too much of the detail, so I can change the size of my brush, and I'm going to put it about there. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, I think I'm going to call that. Let's see if we might want it any brighter in the center. No, I think that's pretty good. Let's say okay to that. And it's going to finish out. And that is the final image. So let me see. I'm going to come back in here and copy over my before and after so you can kind of see a little bit better. Bear with me while I do that. So this is my before and this is my after. It's subtle, but I think you can see his face looks a ton better. The background, and it's zoomed, focused in on him a little bit more as well. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. His jeans might be a little bit too dark, but I think I'll take it. So I'll post this final before and after image on Facebook or Instagram so you can see that in a little bit more detail. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.